On August 22, 1988, Beverly and David Morris celebrated the birth of their son, Dusty. The family of three lived in the Tampa area, where Beverly served as the coordinator of the Diabetes Center at the University of South Florida. David managed a telemarketing company. David enjoyed taking Dusty fishing, and in 1992, they participated in the Children's Gasparilla Parade. Just a few days later, tragedy struck, and David was killed in a car accident. Beverly was left to raise Dusty and try to help him understand that his father was not coming back.
He pretty much started to regress after about a 6-month period of time when he realized his dad was never coming home. My husband got killed in February, and then his birthday, my son's birthday, Dusty, is in August. And we had a birthday party at the home. It was a home birthday party, and a lot of people came. And one of the things that he said to me, he says, "Mom, Daddy didn't come to my birthday party." This is Muffy. He was a stuffed dog that he got actually when he was born. He would come up to me and he'd say, "Mommy, Muffy hurts right here. Muffy really hurts right here." And so we spent a big portion of our time talking about what was going on with Muffy, which obviously in actuality, this was what he was feeling. He didn't know how to say, "I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm sad, I'm scared." And so we spent some time working on that and trying to get him to overcome his feelings associated with the death.
In October of 1993, Beverly remarried. Alan Post took a great interest in Dusty. He sponsored Dusty's soccer team and attended his karate practices and baseball games. As a family, the three enjoyed boating and camping. In September of 1998, while Alan was visiting his brother in Atlanta, the unthinkable happened. Just shortly over a month after Dusty's 10th birthday, Alan was struck and killed by a drunk driver.
I definitely do remember feeling angry after my stepfather passed away. I didn't think it was fair, and I didn't think it was right to have someone that was so close be just taken away from me again.
This time, he just withdrew again and he internalized everything. His grades began to plummet. He lost interest in lots of activities. And again, I did work with a child psychologist again to discuss the anger. But I felt like he needed more, that he needed somebody besides me just to talk to and be a pal with, but somebody besides his own peer group of friends who probably didn't have any more better understanding of the whole concept than he did. And so I chose to use the organization Big Brothers Big Sisters.
When it was time to interview Dusty, he wouldn't come out of his bedroom. So I went in there to interview him. And the curtains were drawn and the shades were drawn. It was dark. He was sitting on the edge of his bed with his shoulders down, and he didn't make eye contact. He sat politely and listened while I told him about the program. And I asked him, "Do you think you'd like to have a big brother?" And he said, "I don't know." As I continued with the interview, he answered me with just one word to my questions. And as I was going along, I was wondering, am I going to be able to accept this young man? He continued to answer me with just one word until I got to the question, "Dusty, do you ever think about hurting yourself or others?" And he said, "Not me, but sometimes I want to take a baseball bat and I want to beat that guy around the chest that killed my dad so he knows how my mom and I feel. But I know I have to quit talking like that because I know I'm scaring my mom." And then I knew that that kid was still in there and that kid was still reachable. And yes, it would take a special big brother, but that we could find one that would help Dusty.
Enter Scott Hufford, a forensic auditor with the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, who had recently relocated from upstate New York.
Dusty and I first met in 2000. He was just finishing up his 5th grade year of school. I had the opportunity to actually sit down with the caseworker and kind of review several different kids. I knew that some of Dusty's interests were similar to mine, so I had a pretty good inkling that we were going to get along pretty well. He was playing baseball at the time, Little League, and I think one of the first things that I did is actually attend one of his games. I mean, over the course of the years, I went to a lot of his games.
He went to all my baseball games. He still goes to anything I go to. You know, after I'd hit one and get on base, he'd always walk around from where he was sitting and he'd come see me in the dugout. We'd talk, and he'd go back. So it was really awesome having him there.
Just knowing that you had some support, I think is important for any kid.
It always seems like I got all the time in the world with him.
I knew that his biological father was killed in an automobile accident, and then I also was aware that his stepfather was also killed in an automobile accident. I can't even imagine what that was like. And I gotta tell you, I mean, there was a little bit of apprehension on my part as I, got involved with him, because I was just afraid, I thought, please don't let something happen to me, as we got into it, because I thought, I don't want him to lose a third person in his life.
After my stepfather passed away, I just didn't really care. It just was go to school, come home, maybe play. But my grades started to take on meaning. And if I remember right, I didn't start making honor roll until I met up with Scott. It just wasn't important to me.
He's an outstanding student, so he's got a lot to be proud of. I'm proud of him. He's just an all-around good kid, and of course a lot of that I think goes credit to his mother, who's obviously done an outstanding job with him. Having gone through what they both experienced, only the two of them can really understand what they had to go through together.
At that point in time, it was just him and me. And I do think Scott was a big impact. It was a way for Dusty, like I said, to go off with somebody and really be able to talk and share his thoughts and feelings with.
Yeah, there has been times I've opened up to him, and he was perfectly fine with that. Many times, actually.
A big brother or a big sister is extremely important when you have kids that may be at risk or kids that are having some difficulty getting over a hump in their life. It's important to have another person that they can relate to.
Scott has become a very good friend for me. He's not just like someone who, once we're unmatched, he's just going to go away. I really appreciate everything Scott's done for me.
He's an important part of my life, and I hope that it stays that way.
For Dusty to have Scott Hufford and to have Big Brothers Big Sisters program in his life, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, exactly what we promised him. And now he is a strong, confident young man who knows where he's going in life. And that's exactly what we wanted to see happen.